A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
This is the Daredevil series, only on Turn 200.
Auto Club Speedway, a track so nice that they don't even race on it anymore. Just kidding, it's a track so nice you gotta race it twice. What better way to kick off the Daredevil series doubleheader than a 25-lapper here at the Auto Club Competition Road Course. I hope you like cones, because there's plenty of them here as we get ready to go for round number 7 of the 7th season of the Daredevil series. It's the Golden Race here tonight, and it's the Golden Voices of Lotus 79 Meme Racing on iRacing. Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson here on Turn 200. Partner, this is our second time here at this very interesting circuit. I like it a lot, but the drivers that are out there on the track may not be enjoying themselves quite as much as you and I will be up here.
Yeah, I think you and I both like this course quite a bit, but I mean, the infield is basically completely flat, and there are a lot of little orange things littered all over the racetrack. Otherwise known as cones, as you see some in the shot right here. If you hit one of these in a poor spot, they can get stuck in between your wheels and your body and who knows where else. So you got to be careful not to run into those here throughout the night. Plenty of opportunities for passing here typically, and they do run quite a bit of the oval. So drivers are going to have a big run down into what I believe is maybe technically turn number 2.
It's on what you count the oval turns as. It's that old classic debate of, does Pocono have 3 turns or 6? Or 4?
One may never know.
I have an opinion, though. That's all that matters. Let's go ahead and take a look at the points. Boy, You talk about ratcheting up. Still only 4 drivers within a race, but everybody got a lot closer, including Nate Siefker.
Yeah, they certainly did. This looks much different than it did just 1 week ago. Going into last week, Matt Schlosser had over a 600-point lead over Kyle Allen. Of course, Schlosser had issues, some damage early on in the race at the Mexico Bowl, so he still stays in first, but only by 10 points over Nate Siefker. That has certainly gotten much tighter, and James Watson has really jumped up in the points. He was 960 points back from the leader before last week. Now only 210. He's made up a lot of ground. Kyle Allen sits there in fourth, still about the same amount of points behind, but has lost a couple of spots. Christopher Hill there in fifth has moved up a spot. Corey Rutherford, Brody Gunter, Zach Flom, Art Karts, and Joshua Rutherford are your top 10.
Oh, man. It is time to go. It is session number 1 of the night. We will go oval racing in a little bit. But here we go for round number 7 of the season on the Auto Club road course. Things a little bit different here tonight as you see them lining up behind the pace car. Rather, the pace truck. It's the only road course of the year where we do that. And no sprint race here this evening as well. 25 laps to settle it. And with the pole position here this evening, Brody Gunter, who led every single lap from the outside pole last week at the Mexico, will try and make it 2 in a row here tonight. Matt Schlosser, the current points leader, by only 1 position anywhere on the track. At any point in the rundown, he starts at second. He needs to put some distance back to Nate Siefker. Christopher Hill will line up in third and Nate Siefker in fourth. 2 of the road course aces of the league. Siefker fastest in practice a bit ago. James Watson also fast in practice, but back in fifth on the starting grid. Kenneth Smith in car number 7, making his Daredevil Series debut here this evening. He has also been quite fast in what will be his first Daredevil Series appearance. Art Carts in Dakota DeMade will make up row number 4. It's Mike Milfeld and Zach Flaum on the 5th row. Kyle Allen and Dan Miglin on row number 6. The Rutherfords, Joshua on the inside, Corey on the outside, row number 7. And Paul Ellison, who just put a picture in our Discord server. I think he collected, I'm not kidding, every single cone on the track. I've never seen anything like it before. Cars are rolling quickly. Let's get to the weather conditions here in the California sun.
Yeah, weather conditions, track temperature sitting at a nice 89 degrees right now. 80 degrees is your ambient temperature here as we are getting pretty close to going green here. You can see this flat track surface on the infield on the shot right now. See drivers trying to get some tires warmed up and also get them nice and clean before the start here. This could get pretty entertaining here into the first turn into the infield. Tommy Cook is going to make us on the call and take us right there to the action.
Pace truck goes straight, and everybody else hangs a right. It's a little bit different. Brody Gunter and Matt Schlosser, Christopher Hill, Nate Siefker. For the first time of 2 this evening, the Daredevils are on the move at Auto Club. Some better starts further back, but side by side. And here is Christopher Hill to make it 3 wide for the lead. And 3 wide will not work into this bottleneck into the inside of the backstretch. James Watson pulling ahead. 5 cars under a blanket.
Whoa, Carts!
Outbreaks them all. He makes it stick. I think it'll be a net wash, but Watson is way back in the order here.
Yeah, that certainly messed Watson up. Watson was pretty gracious to give plenty of room, so Arts didn't cause any issues there as, wow, Christopher Hill to the lead.
Yeah, Gunter got a little bit close there to the 101, had to roll out of it. This is a tricky one right here, this long looping right, but you have to roll out almost immediately. Siefker really sending it around the outside, but that's not the way to do it. He's not going to have a very big run here down this straightaway. Gunter in the slipstream coming to the right-hander here, and this is cone sector. Big lunge to the inside. Kenneth Smith will take over 4th now from Siefker.
Oh, Siefker.
These two battled a lot in practice.
Yeah, Smith obviously new to the Daredevil series, but obviously not new to iRacing in this car. He is looking pretty good so far.
Oh, contact. Zach Flaum and Mike Milfeld, and Flaum has lost a tire. Actually, that's Milfeld, I believe, that's lost a tire. He
Yeah.
is slow.
Flaum is still rolling. Brody Gunter trying to use the slipstream here. Gets side by side with Hill.
Trying to take the long way around. He could set himself up here for this hard right 90.
Yeah, that is such a tough right-hand turn after you kind of get all stacked up there. That is very difficult to make it work on the outside going into that left-hander.
Christopher Hill trying to... I mean, this is the tough part about this sort of internal switchback layout. Just a very drafty car.
Oh, and a
Lots of
lock up there.
opportunity for Gunter to keep himself in the fight as long as he doesn't do that.
Yeah, lock up there for Gunter. That is such a tricky corner. You feel like you can carry a lot of speed, and then all of a sudden you get to a pretty hard right-hand turn, and you can lose all of your momentum on the exit just like that.
So the top 6 pretty close together. James Watson is trying to rally back into this group as Art Cart's going to take a look to the inside of Kenneth Smith.
Yeah, that was pretty close. Seifer has gotten around Smith, and Cart's just about put them both around.
Christopher Hill continues to lead. Nate Siefker in 4th, purple lap. And he will look to rally back into this fight. Matt Schlosser quietly in 3rd. Has had a much less eventful start to this race as some other folks.
Gunter's going to decide to stay behind Hill this time, going into the infield.
Not sure if he said it in the intro because I went mute to talk to the drivers for a second. This Hill's going to go way wide here, but better launch on exit is going to save him. Fuel is a thing. We are going to have to make a pit stop, even in only a 25-lap race. I mean, this track is 2.8 miles long. So, I mean, this is it's going to be a 35-minute race, but we're going to need to stop for fuel.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that long, but until you realize that you run, I mean, basically a third of the oval, and it's a 2-mile oval. So that you're doing a lot of distance just on the oval part of the racetrack here.
I mean, think you're doing the length of the backstretch 3 times, essentially. Well, maybe 2. You're doing 2 halves and a full. So...
Hill's gotten a little bit of a gap. I don't know if Gunter will be able to pull all the way up behind as he did the last time around. Schlosser has lost a bit of time here as well, about a second behind Gunter.
It was the purple lap in the clean air there for Christopher Hill, but Gunter is getting a good slipstream here through oval turns 1 and 2, and he pulls right back up into the mix.
Let's go on board with Gunter behind Hill. Through that little kink into the infield. They're going to have a double set of lefts. Oh, and much different ways to make that corner work. Hill kind of uses the outside, slows down, and backs the corner up to get a good run. Gunter kind of goes up the inside.
And locking it up again.
You can hear those tires sliding. Gunter over the turtle rumble strip there a couple of times. Man, you can just see how he's sliding and hear the tires. Also ran over a couple cones there.
He is much closer this time to Hill than he was last lap. This will be a pretty sporty lap.
Yeah, he's going to have a good run here. Don't know if we'll be able to do a lot with it, but we'll have a much better opportunity.
And he's lost his pusher. He's pushing all that air himself now. As he tries to slip in behind Hill, very defensively positioned. Does not let it happen.
Yeah,
Gunter wanted the crossover. Hill overslowed to prevent it.
That's pretty well done by both. They had to go that slow just because they were side by side. You really can't turn into that right-hander whatsoever the way you want to when you're side by side like that, and it allowed Schlosser and Siefker to get much closer.
These two battle each other for a championship in the ASRL Sports Car Championship right here on Turn 200. They've been around the block a time or two as Corey Rutherford has a problem and he has gone for a spin. Oh, that was Schlosser wide into the cones, and he may have picked one up. See if you're going to have a go. Move Nate Siefker now into third.
And all that ground that they made up on Gunter and Hill, they have now lost as Gunter and Hill make contact! Wow, that
Hill
was just
goes
about
long.
Oh, and that might be a race ender. I don't know if the tire fell off for Gunter.
I don't know if it did. Oh, man, that was a sketchy rejoin right in front of Karts. So weird. Hill down the backstretch. Could not tell what happened for those two to make contact. But Hill then wide into the right-hander and long into the left to basically punt Gunter back out of the way. Hill's still the leader, but now he'll have Nate Siefker all over him.
Yeah, I mean, Hill could very well have damage here. I mean, they made contact before they got to the turn, and then, of course, they made the big contact in the right-hander.
I would imagine he would have toe damage. From the looks of it on the front camera, his end plate is okay, and his front wing is okay, surprisingly.
Well, we're going to stick with this one. Once we get a better opportunity, we'll go back and take a look.
I mean, whether Hill has damage or not, Siefker's in the driver's seat here as he's going to fan out to the right. Gunter will fall down the running order down into the 6th spot.
Yeah, it's just hard when you don't have anybody else out in front of you and you go out there on your own to the outside. It's a longer way around the racetrack. You don't have any slipstream help anymore. You really it's almost impossible to really make a move there on the outside, but you can set yourself up well for the next couple set of corners.
Siefker peeking inside, but Hill got to run his line a little more buttoned up than we've seen.
Oh, and Hill pretty loose off the exit there. Siefker just about the same.
Yeah, these rear tires are going to get hot
Oh,
as Siefker
Siefker
takes a dive. Oh, man, he's clear by an inch, maybe two. Hill back on the power sooner, though. And Siefker will probably have a slowdown penalty. In fact, he does. He can take a little bit, but not a lot there. He had all 4 tires over that little rumble strip.
Yeah, you just can't really go side by side there. There's just not enough room.
And that's going to cost him even more time. But still within slipstream distance here. I think this is probably going to be our best shot.
And this should... Schlosser might just be outside of it here now. Oh, look like Karts had a problem. He was wide through one of the corners, and that allows Flaum to get through. So Karts back to 8th. And Flaum was working on James Watson down the front stretch here.
And here comes Siefker for the lead again.
Flaum not able to get it done. Siefker about the same distance at this point in the lap as he was to Hill the last time around. Not going to take the dive bomb here.
Pretty tighty. Double left here.
Oh yeah, Siefker's got a great angle.
Oh,
should have a
great launch.
Should have a good run out of the oval. A little bit of rear wheel slip for Hill as well. Siefker, I thought he was going to try the apron. It is legal right here on the front stretch, but it goes away quickly.
I think Siefker knew he probably wouldn't get it done in time, and Hill does not have to let him back up. But he was definitely looking. There will come a point where if he's still in this spot in a handful of laps, he might give it a go.
Oh, he
Long way
tries
here.
to get him in the braking zone.
Oh, man, that is a tight hook there.
Well done. That is very difficult to make that turn from the inside position that Siefker was in there.
Hill again wide, but gets a good launch off. Siefker, though, much tighter line right there with him. Matt Schlosser in third, Kenneth Smith in fourth. They're both less than 2 seconds behind as Siefker stuffs it in here again.
Second time he's tried this, just not quite there. Oh, he's going to go
To the
for
right.
it again.
Hill undeterred. Didn't change a thing, but
Whoa.
Siefker is there. This is a tough place to do it, and Siefker is still going to get it done.
Wow.
Loose on the power, though. Hill's going to have a shot.
Whoa, Siefker
loose.
really loose.
And Hill will get it back without much issue.
That was a product of Siefker really abusing the rear tires to make that pass. Heated him up quickly and then just could not get the drive off. Looks like we have a couple of folks. I don't know if they went down pit road or if they crashed. I'm
I
showing.
believe they've come down pit road. That'd be DeMade, Karts, and Flaum. Flaum did have a crash on this last lap, but he's come down pit road as well. Top four now are nose to tail.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really take our eyes off this battle for the lead at this point.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on the other goings-on in this field. Britta Gunter and James Watson run in 6, but your top 4 are all right here together as Hill and Siefker are tripping each other up. Gunter, honestly, is not too far back either. He's making good time.
I mean, this has been such a great battle between
Here goes
Siefker
Siefker.
and the Hill. The same
Oh,
spot
they
for
get
contact
together.
there.
And that will strip the right side of the front wing off the 101 of Hill as Siefker bounces off of the rumble strip and into the side pod of Christopher Hill. Hill is going to come down pit road.
Heads up move from Hill to be right there at pit road. Try and get it fixed as quickly as possible
Look
here.
at this. 3 wide for the lead, and it's Kenneth Smith now on point. And Brody Gunter with a humongous run down the front stretch.
This is why we love this Auto Club competition course. Whoa!
Siefker pump fake down low.
I think he just wanted to tuck in behind, but Smith backed the corner up.
The Daredevil newcomer with a nose wing out in front. Siefker giving him everything he's got, though, on the outside, and Gunter hungry to get back on point.
Boy, this is quite the collection of drivers here, and these drivers really don't know Kenneth Smith at all. Oh, no! Oh,
And
no.
Gunter, there goes Schlosser! Schlosser takes them all!
Siefker into Smith. Gunter
Oh,
into Siefker.
dear.
And it's Matt Schlosser with the lead. And I was just about to say, these drivers don't know how Kenneth Smith really races, and obviously he likes to back the corners up and get a good run off, and Siefker dove it in there hard.
Yeah, I would say.
Oh, and Siefker, big problems, lots of damage, I'm sure. Will likely be coming down pit road here. Brody Gunter will come down as well. And Siefker stays out.
Brody Gunter too fast entering. Just pile it on there.
Boy,
Certainly,
this
we didn't get a shot to look at the Brody Gunter incident with Christopher Hill. I would say this one was not any of his fault. The stack up happened in front of him, and he could not react in time.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, this one was definitely nothing he could do much about that one. Let's go back to the prior incident. We're going to back it up. We'll go to the chase cam here with Gunter. Gunter's going to swing to the outside. I think Hill thought he was a little bit further out. Hill tried to get a good arc into the corner. They make contact, and then Hill. I mean, that is just so tough side by side. That is a very, very tight right-hand corner there. And then this is where Gunter came out right in front of Cards. That was nearly disaster as well. We saw it just before the replay started. Smith did get back by Watson. Watson actually got through to second there for a moment. We will certainly need to take a look at this last incident with Smith, Siefker, and Gunter. We'll let Smith and Watson settle this into the infield first. And Watson is just going to take a good entry into the corner, not push anything too hard. Let's take a look at the replay here. So we saw in turn number 2 that Smith did back the corner up a little bit. So Siefker has been very aggressive into this turn. Smith is going to back up this corner, and Siefker just runs right into the back of him, and Gunter had the brakes locked up. I mean, those tires were smoking hard, but nothing that Gunter could do about it. Go back, we'll go on board with Gunter as they enter this turn. Yeah, just nothing he could really do there. He even got off into the grass as well, so a little bit of grass on the tires. Probably not enough time to slow down anyways.
Oh, problem for Nate Siefker out of the final corner. He's gone around, and now looks like he is coming to pit road. And he is too fast entering.
Yeah,
the drivers were advised, for whatever reason, the pit road speed here is 35 miles an hour, which is stupid, to be honest. But we can't change that.
Yeah, we did not talk about that before pit stop started, but yes, very, very slow pit road speed. And I think typically it matches the pace truck, and the pace truck speed was quite slow, so I think it's just one of those things that this track doesn't really get updated at all for the most part. So, it
will never be updated again.
Just one of those things. Yeah, for sure.
Joshua Rutherford also too fast entering, so that is 3 speeding penalties. Still need pit stops from your top 6, I believe. Schlosser, Watson, Smith, the podium runners, Allen Ellison, and Corey Rutherford.
I'm showing that Rutherford has been... I take that back. Never mind.
The numbers don't lie, and they have spelled disaster for quite a few people this evening.
Yeah, certainly after Hill went down pit road, things got interesting very quickly there.
So Schlosser, Watson, and Smith were kind of game planning maybe some ideas to get back into the fight here with Matt Schlosser, but Schlosser has pulled away over the last couple laps. That gap is now at 4 seconds. But again, pit stop still to come. Speeding has been on the menu. Nothing is settled yet.
Yeah, I mean, curious to be looking at lap times here. Seems like Hill has been just a tick quicker than Schlosser.
But he is well back.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, to be fair, with a pit stop as well.
Right, yeah, Schlosser does have to come down pit road here. So it'll be interesting to see where they shake out here. I mean, also remember, well, Hill has... That must have been a bad lap for Schlosser because Hill did not get the front wing fixed. So Hill probably running pretty slow lap times here.
Nate Siefker's race is over. As maybe Brody Gunter's is as well, unless Gunter is still in the pits getting damage fixed. But Zach Flaum and Mike Milfelt also out of the race. So this will be a points hit for Siefker. Just a question of how bad.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a big-time success, at least in this first race for Matt Schlosser, for sure.
And a much-needed one.
Yeah, he's got to get back on that train, for sure.
Our 3 retirees have already joined the oval session, and they are joined by Matt Wagner, one of our oval specialists. He will no doubt be a threat for the win here on the oval in just a bit.
Might be one of our larger fields of the season so far. If everybody else transfers over, we should have 16 over there.
A big race for the big oval. Coming to 9 to go.
Smith still
Corey
looking.
Rutherford. Go ahead.
Smith still looking solid here, but Watson just a little bit quicker. Especially now that he's got.
I'm surprised. I thought I saw Kenneth Smith's rear wing detach in that crash, but maybe it was just a glitch for a second.
Yeah, sometimes that does happen where parts fall off and then they reappear. But I do think you're right. I think it did fall off, and it must have come back after it was all said and done.
Watson is making time on Schlosser. Gap is inside at 3 seconds now. Schlosser also will have the lap car of Dan Miglin to contend with here momentarily. Three victories for Matt Schlosser, 2 of them this season, none of them on a road course. Kyle Allen from 4th says he will be coming into the pits. And that will leave us with 4, assuming none of the others come in this time. Oh, Christopher Hill with a problem. And he's still rolling. I'm wondering what it was, because it was a 2X. Here comes
Watson.
James Watson
Yeah.
and Kenneth Smith. Very conservative entries for these two.
The lap prior, Watson ran almost a full second quicker than Schlosser. So maybe Watson trying to get in some clean air and hoping that Schlosser gets stalled up a little bit. He does have Miglin to deal with. Miglin pulls off, but that wasn't in a great spot for Schlosser. He had to slow down quite a bit there.
And Kyle Allen and Paul Ellison also in this time, so it is only Matt Schlosser yet to make a pit stop.
And you can see just how long it takes for these drivers to get down to their pit stalls.
Oh, Paul Ellison too fast entering. Or actually too fast in the middle of pit road.
It's easy to daze off with such a slow pit road speed.
Would get a speeding penalty in the middle of pit road at Auto Club.
One does wonder.
Never.
At least it was a different car and a
Yeah, I guess.
quicker,
I don't know if that makes
quicker
it better.
speed, I suppose. Let's see what Schlosser does here. He is going to come down.
Yeah, this is
Gotta get
about
slowed
what I had
down.
pegged for the end of the fuel run. He got it.
Yep.
Much
think
more
he did
aggressive. He needed that.
All right, so really we're looking to pay attention to where Watson is going to come out now because Hill has had damage, had issues. He's out of it for the win here.
Hello to Don Golden in the chat, and hello to Joshua Rutherford, of course, as well. Out there running close to the top 10. Should pick up 10th from Paul Ellison.
Dakota DeMade has made his way into 3rd.
Very nicely.
Not really super far back from Watson either. If he puts some good laps in here, he might have an opportunity to get there. Let's see.
Schlosser
Okay.
is away.
Schlosser on the
it's going to
apron.
be close.
Watson carrying a full head of steam down here into turn 1. Oval.
I think it's regular turn 1, too. I think Schlosser's got it, but definitely a time gain for Watson.
Might take a minute for Schlosser to get going after cooling the tires a bit. Watson going to try and make up as much time as possible here.
Battle for 4th, Christopher Hill, Kenneth Smith in the 7. This is Smith trying to hang on to this spot. Sends it way wide on Hill's line.
You see Joshua Rutherford off the racetrack here.
He's going to stay to the left. Perfect spot.
I mean, Hill is driving this thing like a madman without the right part of that front wing. That is got to be extremely difficult.
Certainly. Oh, problem for Dan Miglin. Around. We'll pull it back on track. Should be good. 6 laps to go for Matt Schlosser. James Watson churning away here. 10th by 10th. Corner by corner.
Yeah, let's see what Watson... I mean, Watson was clocking faster laps before they came down pit road. And that was the personal best lap for Watson there that last time around. So Watson is putting in the work.
Sector times even. And that time, Watson through the middle sector, half a second quicker. One thing to keep in mind for Christopher Hill, he's encroaching on our drive-through penalty limit. It'll be 16 incident points for a drive-through. He's at 13 with a couple of car contacts. Five laps to go. Watson now within draft range. We mentioned Watson the last 2 races being inside of a race of the lead. He desperately needs to score points here on Matt Schlosser. Believe it or not, time is kind of running out this season. Hard to believe. It feels like we just started. Of course, Auto Club Oval later tonight. Next week, we're at Chicagoland. And then it is 2 weeks of Monza, which will both be disasters. And then Gateway. And that's it.
There's some really good opportunities for drivers to make up a lot of points as well in there. It's going to be a very, very interesting end of the season.
Christopher Hill battling with Art Karts. Karts had the spot. Hill is taking it back. Getting his elbows out to do it, but again, another trip through the grass, and he's only 1 car contact away from a black flag.
Yeah, and Kyle Allen has pulled up right up to it after the battling here as well.
Boy.
Oh, boy. I think that black
Hill
flag
on.
might be coming.
I think so. Kart's a little sideways. Hill with a respite. Schlosser still hanging on up front. Inside of his second, though. Watson chipping away here with 4 to go.
Yeah, this next time down the front stretch. Whoa!
Oh, boy.
Kart's trying to stuff it up the inside there. Watson should be well within a good slipstream range this next time down the front stretch. Okay.
And Karts punts Hill out of the way. That was
completely unnecessary.
That was not great. So that'll be the drive-through for Christopher Hill. That was avoidable, to say the least. Watson continues to close here.
Schlosser's actually put a little bit of time on Watson. See what Watson can make up here. Just 3 laps to go. I mean, noticeably closer here.
Just a few car lengths.
Schlosser's been really solid through the infield part of this course, though. We'll see if Watson can make anything happen. Wouldn't be surprised if Watson uses some gamesmanship to set up kind of a last lap, well, going into the last lap pass on the oval portion of the racetrack into the infield.
Watson's gamesmanship is really just the fact that if he appears in your mirror, you're probably a little bit intimidated. A three-time series champion.
That is fair. The only time I ever see him in my rearview mirror is when I'm being lapped, so I don't really know what that feels like.
James Watson complaining about the cones on the track is complaining about the ocean being full of water, I'm afraid. 2 laps to go. Watson does have a slowdown penalty, though, and this is going to absolutely kill him here.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have to go on full beans.
He has given up over a second.
The penalty is clear.
Watson pretty tidy there. Did make up quite a bit of time.
2 seconds at a lap and a half is going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, he's really got to make up a lot of time in these next few corners to set himself up down the front stretch. If he doesn't, it's going to be very tough. Made up some, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
No, certainly not. Going to have to be a magic lap here for Watson. Final 2.8 miles of the opening leg of the doubleheader. Schlosser looking for his first road course victory. Cannot afford a mistake. Paul Ellison is up the road here. See if he plays a factor, or if Schlosser's even going to catch him.
And Ellison pretty far up there.
Watson still continues to close little by little, and he's trying to send it and loops it.
He's got to get back on it just to finish in second here now. You see DeMade in frame. And he's going to have hot tires.
Couple of tough corners here with hot rears.
It's done well. Going to have an opportunity to cool him off here. Schlosser.
Final 3 corners for Matt Schlosser.
Cleanly
His
through.
Third win of the season, the 4th of his career, and the first on a road course. Schlosser takes the competition road course here at Auto Club. Watson on the weave down through the tri-oval, but he will hang on to second. Dakota DeMade with the podium. It's a debut P4 for Kenneth Smith. Out of the final corner, slowdown for Art Karts. It'll be Kyle Allen into the top 5. Karts back to 6th.
Another battle on the racetrack here for 7th as well. We can keep our eyes on.
Corey Rutherford said he was coming, and here he is.
Corey trying to take the shortest way.
Miglin got him. Oh, Miglin, no! He had a slowdown penalty. It didn't clear it.
Yeah, I don't think Corey realizes it, but Miglin is going to get put at the tail end of the lead lap here, I think.
It hasn't been scored yet, so maybe, but I am showing black flag for Dane Miglin. We'll see.
Christopher Hill, after a tough night here, at least for the first race, he's going to come home in 9th.
Yeah, that was, there's a lot going on there, to say the least.
Certainly was.
I think that's pretty generous to say. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Let's get a full finishing rundown here, as Dan Miglin has been moved back to the 10th position now, so that has shaken things up a little bit. I'm not sure if that will reflect or not in your rundown, but I'll read you what I've got. Matt Schlosser, of course, with the win. That didn't change. James Watson, for the 3rd race in a row, will finish in 2nd. Dakota DeMade is back on the podium. 4th place for Kenneth Smith in his debut. Kyle Allen will round out the top 5. Art Karts will finish in 6th. Then Corey Rutherford in 7th. 8th place for Christopher Hill. Paul Ellison will finish in 9th, and Dan Miglin will round out the top 10. Joshua Rutherford, the only other driver running at the end of this race, in 11th. It is 12th for Nate Siefker, 13th for Brody Gunter, Zach Flam in 14th, and Mike Milfelt in 15th. We'll see who of these drivers elects to join Matt Wagner in the next session, as we have not been to Auto Club since Season 5, hard to believe. And we will remind you of what happened in the final 10 laps of the last time we were there. In Season 5, round number 1. Here's a blast from the past to get you ready for some more Auto Club Oval racing here in just about 10 minutes.
Pace truck is in. Here we go. Will this be the run to the checkers? Not a great start there. Christopher Hill going for the lead. He's got it. But here comes big runs from behind. Muscarella onto the scene.
Oh,
Watson up top.
no help up there for Watson, and he kind of gets pushed really high. Not as high as you want to be through the corners, but still gets a good run.
Hill led across
Drew
the
White
line.
on the bottom.
Whoa, Drew White sticking it down on the apron nearly. And he's got a nose out ahead. Hill roars back.
I don't think Hill was expecting that big of a run from Drew White.
I don't think so.
Whoa, nearly contact between the two.
Things are getting dicey up front. Seven to go.
Wow, this
Siefker
front
and
pack.
Muscarella. Oh, man. Oh, there is contact. That was Kretzky.
Yeah, that was Kresge and Steve Roman. This front pack is very, very tight together. Second group trying to make it up here, but
yeah,
not doing it yet.
Good luck.
They do seem to be getting closer, though.
If they do catch, they'll have a huge head of steam. Bump draft in there on the top. Nichols getting help from Wagner, whether he wants it or not.
And you can certainly do that. You just got to be careful. You cannot go across the back of your competitor whatsoever. Otherwise, they will get turned.
Whoa! Big wiggle there. But it's working.
Oh!
Look at this. Oh my goodness. Hope you're not claustrophobic. This is about as tight as it can get without going kaboom.
For that many cars, that doesn't have to be that big of a blanket.
No. It really doesn't. Here's Roman to the outside, looking to take it 4 wide. Big run for Nichols with help from Wagner still. 4 laps to go. Oh, Lord.
Wow, Wagner all over the back of Nichols. He was nearly inside of him.
Inch by inch, they're working their way forward. Vroman is stalled out. He's lost his help from Kresge. Muscarella trying to give a bump now to the 101 of Hill. 3 laps to go. Nichols right down there on the right side tub of the 101. Kresge now getting the help from Vroman on the outside. Oh, we are all over the place. Illinois green at the line. 2 laps to go.
Can we make it one more after this? Just about had a couple of incidents. Oh no! Nichols gets turned. Oh my goodness.
God! Oh, they're still wrecking. They're still wrecking. Oh, Lord.
And then Wagner gets sideways as a result, and then everybody is just, oh my Lord. I've never seen somebody just take off like that in my life. So that wasn't Kresge. I'm not sure who that was. But then here's the incident. Here's the incident that happens afterward. Kresge and Gunter get together there on the top side and get turned right down into your leaders. Not many of them make it through. That's Christopher Hill, Drew White, and Steve Rowan up there on the top. That's pretty much it, other than Siefker, who was behind a little bit of that action. One minute you're driving, 1 minute you're looking straight into the sky.
I think that's more than what Kyle bargained for on his 3rd career Daredevil series start. Maybe that's exactly what he wanted. I don't know. But that's ridiculous either way.
If you're wearing VR, you are throwing up after that.
Like it was Kyle and not Paul Ellison.
Well, Tommy, this is it. This is the one attempt.
This is the one attempt. The only rule is that the caution is not going to come out again for any reason. If we crash, come into the green flag, push on. No cautions. It is a race to the checkers for 2 laps, 4 miles here at Auto Club to stake your claim as the first winner with the Daredevil series in Season 5. I think we're down to 16, maybe 17 cars on track. Certainly a lot less than we started with.
but if you would have asked me before the race started, I probably would have told you there'd be even less left.
Well, we still got 2 laps to go. So I wouldn't count those chickens yet. 3 winners with the Daredevil series, starting in the top 3. Vroman and Camano, both looking for their first win. Those are the top 5. Watson, the Season 3 champ, back in 6th. The final 2 laps of the season opener here at Auto Club. Siefker has a run on Hill. I think we're wrecking further in the back. One is upside down. I think it was Kyler Thomas. Maybe it was Joshua Rutherford. Here we go for the lead. Siefker, White, Hill, Vroman, and Watson.
Whoa! Here goes Vroman on the apron.
Vroman on the apron. White flag is out. Vroman makes the way. He is the leader into 1. On the apron. Camano lurking back here in the 6th position. 3 wide for the lead. 2 in the wings behind. Vroman on the bottom. Siefker in the middle. Hill on the top.
With Siefker.
Vroman sends him up the track and crashing. Drew White has a run. He'll look to the outside. A drag race to the line here at Auto Club. At the stripe, Steve Vroman. Vroman takes the win.
My goodness, what a finish. Alrighty, folks, we are back live. And we always have the lovely, whenever we switch a session, it doesn't load in quite yet. So you're getting a good first look at the oval here in practice, and we should get qualifying underway here just momentarily. As we're having a short drivers meeting with race control being Mr. Tommy Cook. But thanks for hanging out with us. Let us know in the chat who you think might win this one. This is pretty much anybody's race. This one is certainly up for grabs, and what we've seen from the big ovals so far this season, sure to be a couple of questionable moves, but a couple of daring moves. I guess that is why we call it the Daredevil series.
Okay, well, I guess we're back.
We are back.
I'm back. Little quick drivers meeting, little check-in. Drivers, surprisingly, are actually in decent spirits, and I genuinely can't believe it, because that was not the best showing of the Daredevil series. I know it was a bit of a wonky road course, but yeah, I wouldn't say it went particularly well. But it is kind of a new day, even though it's the same day. It's a new opportunity, a whole nother bounty of points on offer here. And we actually get to sit in on a whole qualifying session here for once, which is a little bit different. If you're wondering why we haven't done podium interviews yet, we didn't quite think we'd have enough time to get all the way through them. Obviously, we probably could have, but I want to give the podium finishers like their actual full opportunity to get stuff in and not a one-question rush job, since these are 2 full points-paying races. So we'll talk to everybody at the end of the night. I should probably remind the drivers of that as well, now that I'm thinking about it. Minute 15 left to go, and just for the record, Nate Siefker has not sung yet.
For those at home, he sings before every race now. Today's song from Siefker had a California theme to it before the road course, so wondering if he's come up with something else for before the oval here. And see, Seifker's the one right behind Allen here, maybe trying to practice a little bump drafting that used to be a little bit more viable. That's not really all that viable anymore with the changes that have been made, but it is still an option. As you see, it is happening right here between Seifker and Kyle Allen. The only problem is, if something goes awry, it goes awry very, very quickly.
I don't know if people remember this, but the backstretch in Auto Club Speedway has not been repaved since 1997. It's quite bumpy, especially right there. Allen and Seifker were going to practice a pit stop, and they are not quite going to have enough time.
Alrighty.
And by the way, pit road speed 55 miles an hour here. That's better.
And we're going to get the qualifying session underway. We'll see who's first out. Looks like a few drivers are going to take the opportunity early here.
Very curious to see what the average speed is around the track. Speeds will fall into the mid to high 190s through the corners, but by themselves, these drivers are able to pull 200 plus. Which I don't need to tell anybody is quite fast for a car that was built in 1978.
Yes, certainly is. Matt Schlosser was down kind of below the apron a little bit, and a lot of dirt was coming up from his tires. So pretty dirty and dusty down there. And he is going to start his qualifying run. I'm guessing we'll see quite a few drivers just try and pick up as much momentum as possible here on the first lap and then really go for it on their second lap. As you see Schlosser around the top of the racetrack, looks like Kenneth Smith is running the bottom, so going for a bit of a speed lap here.
We obviously don't have the graphic for it since we just updated it, but points as they stand right now, Matt Schlosser, of course, with his third win of the season, extending his advantage over James Watson, now in second, by 410 points.
And Smith running the bottom through 1 and 2 on that first lap has put him out in front so far.
Kenneth Smith only 4,350 points out of the lead.
I mean, that's not as many as it really seems like, technically.
No. He just
here
needs to
comes-
win 4 in a row.
Here comes Schlosser. This was the money lap for the 400. And he will go to first for the time being. 36.44.
0.04 of a second quicker than Brody Gunter. Some more drivers on track here. The pole Meister, the Cornfield kid, Dakota DeMade, opening lap, 4th quickest. Only needs to pick up 900ths.
Art Cart's just wrapped up his second lap and is not going to do any better, so still sits in 7th. Here comes Dakota.
DeMade to the point by 3/1000ths of a second. How does he do it?
Wow. He is so good at these oval qualifying sessions. It's unbelievable. And Christopher Hill just crossed the line, and he will go up to 3rd on the board. Here comes Joshua Rutherford on his final lap. And Rutherford will knock off Hill. So Rutherford up to 3rd now.
Nice quali lap.
Here comes Kyle Allen through turns 3 and 4. Money lap for Allen here. Down on the apron.
7th.
And here comes Nate Seifker. Always a threat here at the ovals. Ooh, looked like he got almost down into the crest. He crosses the line, but only good enough for 7th.
Paul Ellison about to cross the stripe here. And he is on the clock. Zach Flaum is about to put one on the board. 11th quickest on his opening lap, not a surprise. Some work to do here on lap 2.
So he runs through the middle on entry down to the white line, trying to carry speed here down the backstretch. Flaum is.
I want to point out as well, you'll see me on the entry list this evening. I am not racing. I accidentally registered as a driver. Ellison's first lap is 9th quickest. That's a pretty speedy opener.
Flaum crosses the line for the final time. Good enough for 5th.
Nice run.
So Ellison working on his money lap here on lap number 2.
Ellison was about 2/10 up on Flaum's opening lap. Let's see if he has something here. Only needs to pick up a 1/10.5 for the pole. Ellison improves only to 8th.
Here comes Matt Wagner working on his final lap of qualifying.
Your oval ringer here this evening. James Watson is on the board, 13th quickest. Wagner to 5th. 36.476. 4:35 is the pole time, so we're talking 0.04 of a second from Wagner to DeMade, 5th to 1st. No times yet from Corey Rutherford or Mike Milfeld. Corey Rutherford is stirring at the end of pit road. Watson will complete his qualifying run here. To the line, 6th quickest, 36.478. That's a time match with Zach Flaum. So Watson
Corey
faster to the 10,000th of a second as Corey's around on the apron here.
Corey is spun on exit of pit road.
As long as that does not give him an improper pit exit, there is no qualifying scrutiny.
Yeah, I mean, it was before the blue cone, and then he crossed across the blue line, so he should be fine here. He'll just need to really work on gaining some momentum on this first timed lap to have a good run on the second lap here.
The interesting thing about the Daredevil series, most series at least run light qualifying scrutiny, meaning you can't do burnouts with the tires or various other sim rules. As long as there is not an explicit control or an explicit direction from race control that these drivers are violating on their qualifying laps, they're free to do whatever they want. They can do burnouts, they could drag their brakes all the way around, lock the front tires for a full lap. We do not care.
Corey coming around the top side. Will be on the clock for his second lap here.
37.38. It's about in line with what Watson and Flaum ran on their opening laps.
Pretty tight there around the bottom for Corey. Oh, maybe a touch of the apron. You want to try and stay away from that.
Down to the flat he goes. Oh, into the grass.
Yeah, it looked like a touch of the grass. I'm not sure.
He got it! He got the pole!
Wow.
Unbelievable! 36.432. What a lap for Corey Rutherford. Unbelievable.
After spinning on the on pit out.
3/1000ths of a second. Oh my gosh. And he snags the top spot from Dakota DeMade. Oh my goodness. What a lap.
Well, this was kind of fun to get all the qualifying in here.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
was quite the run. The only driver that has not gone out to qualify is Mike Milfeld Jr. I'm not sure he's going to at this point.
I beg your pardon?
Well, you don't count, so.
Okay.
Although the chat was asking for a Tommy Cook qualifying effort.
Yeah, I know they were, and I'm sorry to disappoint, but I made a boo-boo. That's the second boo-boo I've made here tonight, to be fair. I said that there was a chance of rain in the Roval race, and somebody pointed out that I was looking at the relative humidity, not the percentage of rain chance. So I've been taken to school a couple of times here tonight. I want to point something out. Don't have a graphic for it because I forgot. But we will have tape-delayed coverage of the Special Stage Joker Series starting Monday, June... Oh, God. 15th. Monday, June 15th. It will regularly be on Sundays. I'll be busy with something that weekend. I don't know what. So it'll be a little bit extra tape delayed that weekend. But it'll be 3 weeks of tape delayed coverage of the Special Stage Joker Series on Sundays. And that will lead us into the July 3rd Bathurst 5000 Special Stage Joker Crown Jewel. This special event series will actually kick off Friday night with the TNT Vintage Indy race, which will be a blast. So if you're interested in that, to go hit up Special Stage and they'll get you pointed in the right direction. But that will not be here on Turn 200. So let's get to the starting grid, and it is a first career pole position for Corey Rutherford in the Daredevil series. What a lap it was. And he robs Dakota DeMade of another pole. DeMade will be on the outside of the front row. Matt Schlosser, winner at the Roval just moments ago, will start in third. Joshua Rutherford now to his outside. Christopher Hill and Matt Wagner line up on row number 3. Wagner, fresh off of not racing the road course. James Watson, runner-up last time out. And in fact, the last 3 races in a row, he's finished in second. He starts in 7th now with Zach Flaum to his outside. Bertie Gunter and Kenneth Smith will round out row number 5 and your top 10 starters overall. Paul Ellison and Nate Siepker then on the 6th row. Kyle Allen and Dan Miglin start on row 7. Art Cart's back in the 15th spot. And maybe no Mike Milfelt and certainly no Tommy Cook. Matt, as the sun is setting over turns 3 and 4, let's take a look at the weather conditions here. Sure to change over the next 50 laps.
Yeah, certainly. Currently right now, track temperature is 77 degrees. I don't know if it'll get much cooler, but it will probably get a little bit cooler than that. 74 degrees is the ambient temperature. Clear skies here in sunny California, and we are getting set for quite the race. We are going to have one pit stop that will be needed here for fuel. It is 10 laps shorter than we typically run here, though. So drivers are going to have a little less time to make the necessary moves, but I don't know if that will be such a bad thing after some of the drivers had some issues in the road course race. I think some of them are looking to make quick work of this one and maybe get themselves up front pretty quickly. So might ratchet the intensity up just a touch with a little less time to work with. But pretty full field here, 16 drivers. I think it might tie or be the most drivers we've had in a race so far here in Season 7.
Believe so.
And you can see Corey Rutherford is trying to scrub the tires. He's trying to clean them off. You see a bunch of dirt coming off the tires of the 5 out front here, so that will be something to kind of keep your eye on here on the racetrack, as well as we are rounding turns 3 and 4, getting ready to go green here.
That's all the concrete dust from the warehouse construction in the area. Sorry, had to. Corey Rutherford paces the field with Dakota DeMay to his outside. The Daredevils on the move once again here at Auto Club, in some wishy-washy spinning of the tires a little bit further back. We're going to make it into turn number 1. How much further we'll go than that, not sure. Oh, man.
Yeah,
cold tires.
Tight quarters here. It's going to be like this all night. You better buckle
Rutherford
in.
maybe with too big of a lead here, although he keeps Schlosser at bay. Big runs coming from the back from anybody that wants one.
Some disappearing act going on for Corey Rutherford, unfortunately, but he's back now.
There's the one for the night.
There was somebody...
Dan Micklin taking it up the middle, 3 wide. That's early.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw somebody else blink, and I think it was actually Joshua Rutherford, so I think the Rutherford's probably on the same internet here.
They're good for one a race. Old Nebraska net. And this is the one time a year where Nebraska gets extra internet consumption, you know, so I think the Rutherfords get a pass. Dan Micklin is not taking any prisoners. Up the gut, he's into the top 5.
Christopher Hill working on this second lane here, carrying a lot of speed. Should have a good run.
Here's Micklin.
Oh, Gunter and Micklin.
That was close.
If they weren't close, they definitely touched.
Gonna get close again here.
And Gunter has cleared. Micklin will pull in behind. Hill with just a nose out front going into turn 3. But now Corey Rutherford back to the point. And now you see Hill and Gunter running way up on the top, trying to carry a ton of speed here. Oh, and Hill might... I thought for a second maybe he was trying to go backwards.
Oh, Micklin. Wow. Well, got away with that one.
Boy, that is certainly dangerous netcode territory for Micklin.
Definitely locking wheels there with Kenneth Smith, who rolls out of it. Good job by everybody behind, Mike Milfeld included. Mike Milfeld is here, by the way. And he is into the top 10 and surging.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to start in the back to maybe feel it out a little bit, since he really hasn't run many races here with us. But, I mean, obviously he's taken right to it.
I mean, this is quintessential Daredevil, is the big 2+ mile ovals like this, but this is his first go-around. Mexico City last week and the Auto Club Road Course. 2 of the weirder tracks to make your first 2 starts on, but he is going to be right here at home, going for the lead. A little check it up.
Yeah, Micklin and Smith nearly got together there again.
Most of the field calm, cool, and collected here in the opening 6 laps.
Christopher Hill has decided to depart and hang out around 10th or 11th place now. Maybe trying to save some fuel as well. I'm not sure what that number is going to look like. The race is a bit shorter than we typically run.
I think it might be right at halfway, which is interesting. If you could save yourself a little bit more, might be doing all right. For overtime, especially.
I mean, this is basically what we would consider a super speedway race, and I mean, rule of thumb is to save fuel anytime you can at a super speedway, so certainly not a bad idea. Milfeld is going to go up to the top side, and he's going to go to the back now.
Nearly 4 wide.
Yeah. Rutherford looked like he got up the racetrack close to Milfeld. They got a little jumbled up there.
A little close for comfort.
Lap number 10 on the board. Corey Rutherford still leads it. Rutherford has done well to keep Travers at bay. He's had a couple of big runs from outside. Here comes Kenneth Smith. First oval race in the Daredevil series for the number 7. Obviously,
Never quite know what you're going to get with a new driver, but his I ratings are quite high in oval and road.
Yeah, sometimes you see drivers that are good at road courses come in and struggle on the ovals, but Smith obviously pretty adept at both.
Our karts into the mix for the first time in the oval race.
Miglin has dropped down behind Rutherford, rather. So long line of drivers here on the bottom. Still some trying the top. Nate Siefker's jumped out there now.
Oh, locking wheels and karts with netcode. And I would imagine karts is going to have some damage. They were tight. That was Mike Milfeld. But I don't think they actually touched, but karts got kind of like spit out. Very weird. Wide for third. Up the middle, Milfeld undeterred with a run.
Siefker carrying speed on the tippity top. Looked like he may have had to check up just a touch with Rutherford and Milfeld getting in line there. And Milfeld's going to lead it across the stripe.
So that is the first lap taken away from Corey Rutherford yet, but Milfeld now all of a sudden is going to go from 5th to maybe 7th or 8th. No bonus points for leading a lap, by the way. Dan Miglin will not care either. He's also going to go for it here.
I'll tell you what, though, it's good to mix it up a little bit early and test those runs so you kind of know what's available to you later on in the race. I mean, Milfeld really doesn't have any experience on these big ovals, so it's really nice for him to get a feel for it in the middle of the race to know what he can expect when it really ratchets up in the last 10 laps.
I always talk about, of course, how similar they are on paper. Certainly if you look at the track map, Michigan and Auto Club. Michigan, for whatever reason, the middle line works really, really well there. I'm not saying it doesn't work here. I don't think it works quite as well, though. Corey Rutherford able to hold serve on the bottom. The middle is the place you want to be at Michigan. But right now, at least, it's the bottom here at Auto Club. The place maybe you don't want to be, just in general, is next to somebody.
Yeah, we've seen some close side-by-side calls for sure. Whoa,
I don't know.
as Miglin absolutely cleared himself off of Al. All right, excuse me, that was actually Wagner.
Wagner in the blue tonight, not the pink.
Yeah, a couple of blue cars out there is going to get a bit confusing in that light blue.
I know we're going to
meanwhile,
Chicagoland next week, but I am getting big Chicagoland vibes right now, and that is not a good thing. These drivers are juking and jiving a little bit too much as Kyle Allen is pulled into the pits, and his night appears to be over. That's was very sudden.
Wonder if there was some netcoat damage from Wagner, maybe? Unless he just has to go.
Yeah, maybe. It is a little bit later than we normally run. The race would be about over by this point. And he is a dad and a husband, so wouldn't shock me in the least. Hopefully everything's all right. Here's Siefker on the top. Actually, that's Mike Milfeld. making the move.
Go on board with some folks right here in the middle of the pack. This is James Watson on the bottom.
He's getting a good look at Gunter getting awfully tight there with Miglin.
Yeah, Miglin trying to squeeze down a little bit as well.
Man, talk about squeeze. Joshua Rutherford is getting juiced.
Here's Kenneth Smith on the top side, right behind Mike Milfelt.
Kyle Allen's game crashed. He is back, though. It's not a game, it's a sim, but thanks for coming. We'll have an opportunity to lucky dog here as soon as we get a caution.
I mean, this one, haven't had one yet. Laps are ticking off already on lap number 20 out of 50.
Pit stops shortly. Patent pending. Not exactly sure when. As Allen will hit the track. Watson and Joshua Rutherford wheel to wheel as Watson straddling the apron line.
Quite a few drivers just happy to hang out back here for right now.
Not a bad idea. First time we've mentioned Paul Ellison, I think, in the top 10. He runs in 7th. It's Gunter and Miglin again, nearly smoking tires there.
And Joshua Rutherford just, I don't know if he's getting loose or Miglin in front of him kind of weaving back and forth, is kind of messing with his line a little bit, but the rear end of the car seems to have been moving quite a bit off of turn 4 the last couple times.
James Watson down to 190 miles an hour out of turn number 2 and is lifting off the gas and hitting 198. These drivers could do well over 200 miles an hour if they so please. As Gunter clears Miglin. Miglin slots in line on the bottom in 3rd. It's now Joshua Rutherford and Kenneth Smith having a go here on the top. Ooh, Art Hartz and Matt Schlosser nearly coming together. On the apron, Miglin got all sorts of speed wobbles there. Lucky to hang on to that.
You said north of 200. Matt Schlosser just hit 211.
There you go. That is north of 200. But it's about, I would imagine that's probably the North Pole.
That is what an extra 10% of horsepower will get you.
Certainly. Kenneth Smith by himself as they check up on the bottom. But that was almost disaster for James Watson, who had to roll to the apron not to pile into the back of Matt Schlosser. And the bottom is the place to be as we close in on green flag pit stops.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the halfway point now, so obviously we can make it on the one stop. It's just a matter of when folks are going to start coming in.
The riders back are picking up their pace. Zach Flem to set the purple lap from 13th.
I would assume stretch it pretty much as far as he can.
Mike Milfeld says he's coming in right now.
That's interesting.
We are halfway home. See who else comes with him. Nobody.
Ooh, that could spell disaster there.
It could. Also, you talked about comfortability earlier. Gives you plenty of breathing room.
Yeah, certainly will keep you out of the big one if it happens in front of you.
See if anybody else elects to come in this time. Cross flags. Oh, as Dan Miglin pulls the parachute. Nobody this time.
So those drivers in the back that started working their way forward, hitting quite high top speeds.
Corey Rutherford from the lead. He's been burning the most gas, and he is coming this time.
Ooh, this could be interesting.
Milford almost a lap and a quarter down. Not just a full lap, but more.
Pit entry is going to be tough here.
Corey. Art Cart's in as well
So
with the Rutherfords.
Yep, both the Rutherfords and then Art. So Kenneth Smith will take over the lead.
Kenneth Smith says he will be pitting this time.
Well, that should answer it. Pretty much everybody other than maybe some of those drivers saving a lot of fuel in the back are going to have to come down this time.
Smith down to the apron.
Oh, Smith and Miglin make contact, and Miglin is in the racing line. And he has towed.
He's towed. Will stay green.
Nobody was coming up behind him.
See how bad the damage is for Smith. Smith and Miglin both called their pits out plenty early. I think Miglin was just trying to get too much there.
Yeah, I think that's also a bit of Smith not having a lot of probably practice in this car on pit entry and probably played it pretty safe. Meanwhile, Miglin was on the complete other end of the spectrum. Look at Seifker!
Flying it. Is he going to make it to speed in time? I think he did. I don't believe how, but he did it.
I think he made up 3 positions there. So that leaves 3 drivers out on the racetrack.
Seifker, Hill, Gunter, Schlosser, Wagner, Flaum in this time. Watson and Ellison say they're pitting. Dakota DeMade, we'll see if he follows.
I would assume he will here.
Yeah, I would agree. Smith was being pretty conservative there on that entry, and Miglin is not.
Look at DeMade! Wow. That is a send.
He knows he's at the end of pit road, so he's going to have to find a way to let Ellison through here.
So here comes Hill, Gunter, Seifker, that whole group coming out of a pit road right now. Corey Rutherford and Micah Milfelt coming through turn 1, now through turn 2. They are far, far behind.
It's always Gunter. It's just a question of who else.
Well, let's see where Ellison, DeMade, and Watson come out here.
Watson's usually pretty crafty at this, but these two are going to go by them all.
Well, we're going to see how... Oh!
Boy!
I think that was Watson, and I'm not sure who he almost ran into.
That was... Oh, boy, that was close. Hey, remember when these two wrecked each other out of the last race? That was 30 minutes ago. Just a little refresher. Sketchy blend, to say the least. The second pack is here. And honestly, they're not too far out of drafting range if they can get it figured out.
Yeah, I don't... With 110% horsepower, you'd assume it's similar strategy, but it could be a little different. They've basically stayed served so far. 1.23 seconds behind Gunter.
This is Seifker, Wagner, Watson, Schlosser, Ellison, and Flaum in this group.
And DeMade has fallen off the
behind.
back. Yeah.
Yes.
Seems like he's actually made up a little bit of ground on Flown, though.
Mr. Flown will probably try to lag back and pick him up just a little, not to lose the draft himself. Meanwhile, looking at the lap times from Siefker to Gunter, even as Siefker is side by side, I mean, we're talking hundredths of a second. This second group is quicker than the top two. They don't need much to rally back into the wake here.
I was going to say, if they can keep that up for 10 more laps, they should be pretty close to being in that draft range.
Corey Rutherford and Mike Milfeld game planning to try and catch up to Dakota DeMade as Watson bails from the top.
Yeah.
Tight squeeze.
Let's see. I think we're gonna try single filing it here and see how that works out. They're still about the same distance, still about 1.2 seconds.
Well, Gunter and Siefker literally turned the exact same lap time. I mean, we are literally talking thousandths to 10,000ths of a second.
And at this point, Gunter and Hill,
they need a tenth. They literally need 1/10 of a second to be able to sneak back in here.
yeah, and Gunter and Hill are trying to work together as much as possible to keep this group from catching them in the next 16 laps.
Neither group can afford a mistake, and there's a lot for error here in this second pack.
This could be interesting. We have a lapped car coming up. This might be able to bridge the gap, potentially.
This is the 7 of Kenneth Smith.
And with that move from Zach Flaum, they lost about a 10th there. They're trying to get organized over the radio. But no organization so far.
Lap times this time a 10th quicker.
They're losing more time. I think this is mostly due to Hill and Gunter getting a tow off of Kenneth Smith now.
Oh, man, Gunter and Hill nearly sideswiping one another.
Gunter wants the lead.
I don't know about that.
And Gunter, I think, was trying to get in behind Kenneth Smith so he could take the point. Look, he's going for it again here on the apron.
Maybe trying to go for, I guess, to see if too wide was quicker or faster.
I don't know. What I can tell you is this second group is slow.
Yeah,
they need to get this figured out.
The wheels have come off, certainly. Now they need to make up half a second to have a shot at picking up a slipstream. Well, I'll tell you this much. The too wide is not working, so why not give the single file a shot? Coming to 12 to go. Gonna have to get it figured out pretty quick.
There's only one driver that has not gotten in line. That is Matt Wagner, and he's been up top pretty much this whole time, even though when they were running similar lap times.
I mean, to be fair, there are tracks where going too wide, counterintuitively, is faster than staying single file, as the leaders now are 3 wide with the lapper.
What is happening?
I have no idea. These drivers are not... I think we might be running out of oxygen worldwide. It's probably the issue. There are tracks where being double file is faster than being single file, but it's not working right now. So you might as well give single file a shot. I'll tell you this much. Yep, they just made contact. I was going to say, these two are going to wreck each other out of the race. Just do not get it. Gunter has side pod damage now.
Yeah, I think Gunter's fallen off Hill.
Yeah, he sure has.
Well,
that will bring the second group right into play because Hill has no help and Gunter has damage. Not racing with our brains this evening. Nobody. you know what? It do be like that sometimes. Here we go. Gunter ingested by the pack, and
Okay.
oh Lord! Well,
That is-
that's a caution. Gunter and Flaum.
Oh, and Corey narrowly avoids both of them.
I don't think Zach Flaum could buy luck at an oval. I just don't. Poor Zach Flaum. Mind on his own.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some wheel damage, but I mean, cosmetically, I'm not seeing a ton.
Well, I'll tell you this. From my vantage point in the blimp, it looked like netcode hooked Flaum.
Let's take a look at the replay. I mean, this is a Gunter still on the bottom. Seifker able to clear Watson to get up above Gunter. And Gunter's going to be on the bottom here. Just wants to try and maybe try and tuck in behind this group if he can, even with the damage. I mean, you can call it netcode, but I mean, they were definitely, those wheels were going to touch for sure. And Flaum got kind of sandwiched there by Wagner coming down the racetrack 3 wide. Didn't have much room there. Just really nothing Flaum could do, like you already said. I mean, Flaum has to have quite a bit of damage here. He made contact with Gunter a couple of times, and then with the outside wall as well. I can't believe the nose or the wings are not torn off that car. You see Corey Rutherford have to do a slalom here. Outside of Flaum, inside of Gunter. Well, question I think at this point is, it's only one caution so far this evening. Are we going to have another?
Oh, boy, you just had to say it.
Yes, I did.
You just had to say it. It took 41 laps for our first caution, and now we're going to rack them up.
Instead of stacking pennies, we're going to be stacking cautions.
Yeehaw.
Well, should be going green with 5 laps to go here in just a short time.
Man, there are some drivers a little bit deeper in this field that could really use a win. If they couldn't use it, they probably really want it.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we certainly have capable drivers. We have aggressive drivers. We have smart drivers. We have them all in this field here tonight.
There is some overlap in those categories. Not a lot, but some.
Yeah, I was going to say there's not a lot.
Just a question of who is going to be on their front foot. At the right time. Hill and Seifker, Watson and Wagner, Ellison, Schlosser, the top 6. We've not said Matt Schlosser's name a whole bunch here tonight. Well, in this race, I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Truthfully, we didn't really say his name all that much until the top three all crashed in the same corner and he took the lead.
That is a good point. To me, I think Hill, going back to the start of the race, Corey Rutherford was able to keep the lead for quite a while. So to me, Hill is in the best position here, but we'll see who can mount a charge.
Does Hill have any lingering damage from the contact with Gunter? We're about to find out. 5 laps to go. Siefker, Watson, Wagner all training up on the outside. Big run here for Schlosser.
He's going to go to the top. Ellison goes with. Oh, and Ellison's going to get underneath of him. I think Schlosser got a little too high in the corner there. And here comes Art Karts to join the party. A lot of drivers on the outside lane now.
Oh my gosh. Everybody's here. Everybody has a run and nobody has anywhere to go with it.
Flaum trying to go 4 wide.
Good luck.
Once he pulled out, he just got pulled straight back. You really have to have help if you're going to be on that outside lane. Oh, boy.
3 to go. Dread it and run from it. The big one is about to arrive. All the same.
These drivers are going to start squeezing each other lower and lower on the racetrack here to try and get some runs.
Kenneth Smith made it 4 wide momentarily for the lead as Paul Ellison fading from the top middle. 2 to go.
Oh, and Schlosser backs out.
Might be wise.
Oh, he backs all the way out.
Might be wiser yet.
Ellison and Wagner awful close here. Here comes Kenneth Smith to make it 4 wide.
Oh my goodness. Will they make it back to the stripe? Siefker in control.
They will.
A lap.
I think Watson had
oh.
it. Oh, Ellison and Wagner contact.
There go 3. Couple
3
more.
into the wall. Watson and
thins.
Siefker. Watson and Siefker out front.
Big run coming here on the outside for Zach Flaum. Flaum makes it 3 wide outside.
Oh, he pulls Watson back.
The run to the checkers. Siefker down to the flat. It's a 4 wide photo finish, but it's Nate Siefker to victory lane. Siefker with the win. Watson second again. And Zach Flaum somehow is on the podium. He was just upside down.
I don't know how he didn't have more damage after the contact with the wall, but
I don't either.
nonetheless, it is Nate Siefker taking the dub. I thought for sure we were going to have more chaos before they even got to the white flag, but they made it around. A few went up into the wall. And Nate Siefker came out on top.
Yeah, Kyle Allen, by the way, his game crashed, and he still finished in 6th. Siefker, a winner with the Daredevils for the first time this season, after a pretty good season. But it is career victory number 5 Breaks the tie that he was just put in with Brody Gunther last week.
Yeah,
Moves
and we
him, to solo 5th all time.
talking about points and having a good season. We talked about how Schlosser's gonna get a big jump from the win in the first race tonight. Now he finishes 8th, and Siefkert's on top of the podium. So things are gonna be very interesting in the next week.
Well, we've got a final lap to look at here. We'll give that a couple of buzzes, and then we have an extended podium interview session here this evening to get to as well. So let's Siefker parks up in Victory Lane. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, this is the final lap. You're going to see contact here between Wagner and Ellison. So everybody's trying to squeeze. Ellison comes down. Wagner goes up. They take Mike Milfeld into the wall. A couple others crash behind. And this is where Flaum gets a huge run off the back of Watson. But he gets to the side of Watson and pulls Watson back just a little bit. Siefker dives to the apron. Hill had a great run here in the second lane up, but just not enough. And DeMade even gave Siefker a little bit of help right at the end. I don't think he really needed it, but certainly was and didn't hurt either. We'll take one more look, and let's go ahead and go on board with Flaum. We're going to go with Flaum all the way around here, as he was behind Ellison and Wagner when they had their contact, and then is going to make a run to the stripe. And just narrowly avoids that one on the top, and gets a huge slipstream here. Look at this run. All the way to the top. Siefker down here on the bottom. Boy, DeMade and Hill just about wrecked there coming out of 4. And DeMade, little helping hand to Siefker, takes the win.
Well, let's get a look at the full finishing rundown here, because we've got 5 people to talk to here. It is Nate Siefker with the win, his first of the season, 5th of his career with the Daredevils. We'll talk to him. We'll talk to James Watson, and we'll talk to Zach Flaum, somehow on the podium. Maybe I anti-jinxed him. I think maybe that's what happened, finally. Christopher Hill will finish in 4th. Dakota DeMade, we'll also talk to him here in a second. He finished in 5th. Kyle Allen in 6th, Joshua Rutherford in 7th, Matt Schlosser in 8th, Art Karts and Mike Milfeld Jr. at the top 10. Kenneth Smith will finish in 11th, not indicative of how he ran here this evening. 12th to Paul Ellison, Corey Rutherford in 13th, Matt Wagner and Brody Gunther in 15th. DNFs for Gunther and Miglin, Dan Miglin rather, in the 16th spot, and I did not start. Let's go to your 3rd place finisher in the first race, 5th place here in the oval, but it's a great night when we get to talk to Dakota DeMade at the end of it all. Welcome back to the podium. Congrats on a solid night all around.
So where am I? What am I doing here? What? It's been a long time since I've been here. I missed you guys.
On a road course too. I missed you.
I
as
know.
well.
Yeah, usually not a road course guy, but I'll take a podium on the road course. It helps when everyone kind of shoots themselves in the foot.
I was gonna say a lot of the field exploded, and you did not, and it was to your benefit. But I mean, it's a track that you've have been forced to race a few times now, so you had a little more familiarity than maybe some folks. I mean, talk us through that race as a whole.
I love Rovals, and so I raced them for fun. So I love that track. The cones add a new flavor to the race, I think. So it was mostly just about keeping clean, and I wanted to pit early just to kind of get away from the pack, and then I did that, and then everyone just kind of took themselves out one by one, and then next thing you know, I'm there at 3rd, and I was hoping James and Matt could tangle together too, but not quite. But yeah, I'll take a 3rd. quiet but strong finish.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, well, congrats on the podium in the first race, but I would be remiss to not also ask you about your fourth place finish in the oval race that we just had. It went by pretty quick, only 50 laps, but only one caution in there. I mean, how did you expect it to develop after some of the ovals we had this season? And, I mean, kind of how were you able to try and game plan, and how did it pan out for you here tonight?
Yeah, pretty standard pack race for the Lotus 79. I just wanted to drop back, save fuel, hopefully get the overcut. Didn't get a good run out of the pits, so kind of lost the pack, and then of course they all wrecked each other. So at that point, on the restart, it's just pick a lane and hope you pick the right lane, and you know, who knows, whatever happens, right? So almost snagged second at the end there, but I think I finished fifth, I think, by just like, yeah, a couple thousandths. So
Yeah, I'm showing a fifth place actually tie with Christopher Hill, so it could very well be
interesting.
showing fourth for Matt because I don't really think it matters.
yeah, you guys like me more than Chris, right? You can move me
Well,
up to fourth.
yeah, for sure. 41 thousandths of a second, by the way, from Siefker to Watson, but then 5 1,000ths of a second from Watson to DeMade, second to fifth. So incredibly tight for second to fifth. Great to get to talk to you once again here. Let's get some shout outs in before we let you go.
Yeah, thank you. Shout out to Sunset Arctic Games. That's my company. You can check out my games on Steam, Echo Blade, and Voltic Pistol. Running a Steam sale at the end of this month. So check that out. And that's all I got for now. Shout out to you two guys. You guys are awesome. You guys put on the best league here on iRacing, the best broadcast.
Well, thanks. Really appreciate it. It's great to get to talk to you again, though. Let's do it again next week at Chicagoland. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm up for it.
That sounds like a plan. Thanks for the time, as always.
Yep, thank you.
It is great to get to talk to him. Just like it'll be great to talk to this gentleman. The first ever anti-jinx. We reverse engineered the jinx, and Zach Flaum is somehow on the podium. I can't believe it.
Oh, please tell me how you did that. I
Well,
want to thank you immensely for it.
Well, when you were flipping down the front straightaway with 9 laps to go, I said, Zach Flaum can't buy luck at the ovals. And then here you are with a cash bag full of luck back into the podium. Well, not luck, but a whole bunch of slipstream for sure, if nothing else.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a surprise when I came into the pits and they said all your damage is repairable. It'll take 60 seconds, and I was like, all right, I'm back in this. Now on the road course, I can't catch a break either. So I was just happy to do something of somewhat remarkable quality tonight. So that was good.
I would say that was of remarkable quality, to say the least. Matt, what you got?
Yeah, man, congrats on the podium here. As we already alluded to, it was pretty unbelievable after the spin there to bring out the only caution of the evening. But, I mean, then you go get the damage repaired. You have to come back out on the racetrack and presumably start at the rear, or at least close to the rear. I mean, what's the game plan for just the last few laps? And I mean, you were able to execute there, narrowly avoided getting sent into the wall, though.
Yeah, I full throttled coming out of the pits, and besides the pacing, like after I caught up to the field, I maybe lifted twice over the last 5 laps, and I sure as heck wasn't gonna lift once I saw some clean air. So honestly, the seas kind of parted for me. I got that third lane at one point, and I just kind of rode with it. And I actually thought I had won it. I didn't know how far ahead Nate was, but I could tell that I was getting a run on James. To be fair, did not know we were like almost 5 wide there. But I legitimately thought I had won the race once I crossed the finish line. So.
Well, Zach Flaum, the first recipient of the anti-jinx, and also maybe the first person to consciously censor himself in Booth 200. Let's get a shout out or get some shout outs in before we let you go.
Yeah. Who knows? My grandpa might watch this at some point. I don't want to be cussing in front of him. But yeah, give a shout out to the family. Give a shout out to you guys for running this series. I'm really glad we've been able to get back to doing it consistently, or I've been able to get back to doing it consistently. It's always been a fun time here on Turn 200, and as always, I'm sure Dakota already said this, but go buy Echoblade on Steam. If he didn't, I'll make up for his lack of salesmanship. And yeah, FIS Formula Indy Series Season 9's coming up. If anyone's interested, we race on road courses, we race on street courses, we race on ovals. It's a great time, good series, cash prizes, whole lot of fun, whole lot of challenge. And looking forward to it in about a month or so.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great time. Looking forward to seeing how it shakes out, and looking forward to more of you on the podium here in the closing stretch. You know, we are going to Chicagoland next week, and that is a pretty important track in Flaum lore.
It is. It's almost as important to Flaum lore as it is to Tropicana Orange lore. So I'm pretty excited to go there. Is it a night race? That's the question.
Oh, I mean, they've got lights. Of course it's a night race.
Okay, wonderful. I will be looking forward to hopefully beating more than 5 people last time. So
yeah, we'll see. Thanks for the
hopefully
time.
we can survive, yeah.
Yeah. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week.
Yep, have a good one, guys.
Moved myself. Oh my god. You think it's my first day on the job? Let's talk to. Oh my god. We're in second place now, right? It's James Watson, I think. I think it's his turn. 2 runner-up finishes, and in fact, 4 in a row for Watson. My goodness. I mean, you can't knock the consistency if nothing else. I know you want to get the win, but you've been right there 4 races in a row now.
Yeah, I really, I'm content with those finishes, kind of for the most part, except for race. I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about race 1 tonight. It was the weirdest mix of catching all the breaks while also getting kicked in my nether regions multiple times.
Yeah.
Because, like, it started off with a huge kick because of a certain someone wanting to make it 5 wide into turn 1 with the latest send. And I got so distracted trying to stay alive and figure out where he was going that I clipped a cone. And, of course, it got stuck and gave me damage. So I was just losing pace from that. And then I caught all the breaks with pretty much everyone having some sort of significant issue after that, between Art spinning, Brody and Chris getting together, Nate and Brody getting together, and then being able to pass Kenneth. So even with my damage, I was tracking him down, and then the nether regions kick came back because I got a slowdown with a couple laps ago, because people just had to hit the cones, and I had trained myself in that kind of sling chicane there in like the middle of the track to get close to the cones. Well, the problem was that people took out the cones. So being close to the cones that were there got me a slowdown that I really had no way to anticipate, because it's hard to anticipate that. So yeah, I think I might have gotten him had that not happened, since I was only 7/10 behind at that point and still had a couple laps to go. So that one really stung. But at the same time, again, I had damage pretty much the whole race. So the fact that I was even in contention to win and bring home second, like, yeah, it stings, but at the same time, you can't look a gift horse in the mouth, and you just gotta be grateful for what did happen, because I thought I kind of thought my hopes were toast at that point, since I was, P7 by quite a bit at that point. So yeah, it was a really needed race, all things considered, and yeah, I was able to just kind of stay alive and put myself where I needed to be at in race 2. So all in all, knock on wood, another much needed points day, all things considered.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, well, congrats on the second place finishes, of course. I wanted to ask you, before we had that caution come out, we had a period where you had all gone down pit road. You'd come out. There was a pretty big group of a second pack just behind Gunter and Hill. And it was like nobody really wanted to work together. The leaders weren't really working together. Your pack couldn't really get things together either. Curious what your point of view was on that, and kind of what transpired when that was happening.
It was quite irritating, because we could have absolutely caught up to them if we had single filed out. Because one of the few things I'm good at in this car is being able to bump draft. Like, I'll never forget last season when me and Chris were 2 seconds behind Brody at Pocono with 10 laps to go, and I drove us back up by just shoving the ever-loving heck out of Chris down every straightaway. So it's possible to do that if you're single file and just bump drafting, but the problem is that we weren't single file and kept begging everyone to get single file, and it just didn't, and it was quite frustrating. But then we caught the break with whatever the heck that was that happened with Chris and Brody up there at the front. Not only getting us back into draft range even before the caution ended up coming out.
Well, you talked about needing a good points day. I'll pass the update along. New points leader is James Watson by 140 markers over Matt Schlosser. So I would say it was a good points night, to say the least.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's just gotta keep doing what I can. It's been a good run of form, and just gotta do everything I can to just keep it going in any way. It's gonna be difficult because there's some of the Monza Combined is still coming up. Monza Oval. Like, honestly, the final 4 races are stressful because it's gonna all be pure pack racing chaos. So it's really just gonna be who catches the breaks, who gets lucky and just doesn't end up getting killed. So there's a lot out of my control going into these final few races. So it's really just, control what I can control and pray for the rest of this point.
Let's get some shout outs in before I let you go.
Yes, sir. I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting and putting the series on. My folks for watching at home. Team Watson Racing Setups, use code WATSBIN39 for 10% off at checkout. Binks Designs, Icon, Sim Racing Apparel, ZS Designs, Dizzy V Designs, and Control Z Designs for putting together my paint schemes.
Alrighty, partner. Thanks for the time as always, and we'll talk to you hopefully next week at Chicagoland.
Here's open. Cheers, guys.
Alrighty, on to the race winners now, and let's talk to Matt Schlosser, winner at the Auto Club Roval in his first career Daredevil Series road course victory, and we'll bring it home in the 8th spot here for the oval race. Congrats on the win. Let's talk about the road course first. just sort of tagging along there with the lead pack, and all of a sudden they are all in the grass, and you're the only one on the tarmac.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely benefited from everyone else murdering each other there. But luckily, I was able to avoid most of the carnage. And yeah, got a really strong charge from Watson there towards the end. But yeah, it was a crazy race.
I mean, even after you took the lead, though, it wasn't a guarantee. I know you had some space behind you, but I mean, you still had to execute with some really solid laps, and you did just that.
Yeah, it was tough. I actually changed up my driving style a little bit to the way I use the clutch and things to try to gain a little bit of speed, and it made me a little faster. I was able to hang with those guys a little bit more, but it was hard to be consistent because I was just kind of a little outside my comfort zone. But yeah, I mean, luckily if you're within a second coming out of the last turn, you can get a nice draft and gain all that time back. So as long as you're in the ballpark, you can kind of stay close to those guys. And yeah, it just was a lot of crazy racing. I got a little bit of damage. I hit a few cones. That's what I get for asking questions about the cones. And I hit the cones, and then got them. I think I had a couple stuck under my wheel at one point. I was trying to like weave to lose them, but yeah, luckily I didn't get too messed up by the cones and held on to it.
All right, society meeting is in session. Matt, what you got?
Certainly is. Congrats on the win in the road course race. We'll flip over to the oval race now. You were kind of all over the board. You had fought your way up to the front, then you kind of moved to the back. Kind of wondering if that may have been for potentially fuel strategy, but you were kind of all over this pack. I mean, how did it race to you? This was certainly the cleanest oval race we've had so far all year. Only one caution here tonight.
Yeah, I was trying to just learn some things and see where you could get runs and things like that. You couldn't get quite as much of a run as you could at maybe Pocono, but you could still get decent runs. But guys would fan out, and it would be pretty tough to really pull off a pass. I was trying to pull off some passes on the third lane a few times, but yeah, it was just tough to make anything to complete anything. But yeah, that last restart, I got up high and got shuffled out a little bit, and then everyone was just kind of like gridlocked, and I unfortunately lost a lot of points there, finishing back in eighth. But those guys did a good job up front of kind of holding their positions and not slowing each other down too much to make themselves susceptible to a big run from the back. So yeah, I was just kind of trying to explore and figure out if I could get any kind of secret sauce there to use on the last couple laps, but couldn't really pull anything off. But eighth place is definitely better than a DNF or anything like that, so not a bad run.
Certainly is better than some of the alternatives that were very much laid out and strewn across the racetrack there on the final lap. Let's get some shout-outs in with a solid night with the P8 and the P1, the first career road course victory.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, shout out to Turn 200 and you for organizing this. Congrats to Nate and everybody who finished up on the podium tonight for great runs. And shout out to everyone who came out and raced. Had some really nice turnouts the last few races. It's been really fun racing with everybody. And yeah, I think that's all I got.
All righty, partner. Thanks for the time. As always, go celebrate the win, and we'll hope to talk to you next week at Chicagoland.
All right. See you later.
Oh, he left before I could move him. All right. Final interview of the night, and it is Nate Siefker for the first time this season on the top step. And I want to point something out as well. It may be correlation, causation, whatever, but Nate Siefker did not sing a song before this race in particular. And he just won. So it's, just some food for thought, and I ain't talking hot dogs.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Tonight was a mixed bag, of course. The first race was really good up until it wasn't. Me and Chris were racing just really hard, like dogs, really. And we just made a little contact, and I accidentally got in a Ken there, and my night just went spiraling out of control from there on that race. So sorry to Cannon for that in advance. And then this race was easy. I just relaxed. I took a nice little mental break in between races there. Medicated, my body and everything, and then I just kind of relaxed there in the beginning part, and then we just started plucking away. And thank goodness that Brody and Chris made contact there, or else I don't think I would have caught them. And then from there, it was get in front of Chris, then ride the bottom all the way to the line.
I mean, pretty straightforward. Matt, what you got for a race winner?
Yeah, congrats on the race win. Pretty good night for you overall here tonight. I mean, you kind of laid out the oval race there for us, but I mean, coming right to the line, I mean, you had everybody breathing down your neck there. On the bottom, a huge run from Flaum on the outside, and then the Christopher Hill, when you went down to the apron, he got right alongside you as well. I mean, how did that transpire? And I mean, did you make the move you wanted to? It looked like the apron was the move for you all along there.
Yeah, I had it predetermined for about 5. If I got to that part, I was going to do exactly how that went, run the bottom line until we got to the final lap, and then I was going to run the apron there. I probably, hindsight, could have gone down like a click earlier. I think I still did a decent job timing it to get down, but that would have been my one and only thing I would have done. Knowing Chris had the damage, because I wanted the support there. So I didn't want to go down too early. But yeah, otherwise I didn't realize Zach got that run he did up there. I'm actually kind of impressed he got all the way up to where he did. And really Dakota hitting me in the back is almost what did it. And he hit me pretty square, but pretty hard. And it jerked me sideways a little bit there coming to the line. So thankfully he didn't get to me a little earlier or spin me out. So yeah, I think it nets out pretty close to even. Schlosser got 8th, which, he's not going to extend the points lead a tremendous amount after this. So it's about the best damage control after the first race. I really thought after the first race that, that was the worst case scenario. The championship was going to start slipping away. So we need a couple strong nights, couple strong weeks from here. Going to Monza, hopefully it's going to be pretty fun. So we just got to buckle down and kind of hope that a couple things go our way and we move on.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting month to close out the season, to say the very least. Let's get some shout-outs in. Once again, you've been no stranger to the booth, but tonight you're on the top step, so have at her.
Yeah, I mean, I want to thank everyone, of course. I want to thank you guys for being up here in the booth. You guys killed it with both races tonight. Really did a good job, I'm sure. Even if Tommy wants to, I think that's a new move, by the way. I just want to put this out for you guys. Group interviews. You just randomly go into the waiting room and just randomly interview for like 15, 20 seconds. I think that's a new move.
Okay.
Want to thank all the guys out there tonight. I want to say sorry, of course, to Ken. I'll publicly say it. That was totally 1,000% my bad in the road course race. Hopefully, I don't even know how he did. Hopefully, he didn't have a terrible night in the road course race. But I feel bad for that. And then, I start randomly thanking everybody. If you can tell me closely what the points race is, I mean, I can go down the list and thank my teammates and Zach and Dakota for the push there at the end, and Kyle for racing me really well, and Josh for being out there, and Matt for being Matt, and Art for being Art, and Mike for being, Mike, great guy, and Ken for coming out for the first time, and Paul for doing a great job as well. Corey had a great run. Matt, had some issues there. It seemed like he was pretty okay, but not the greatest tonight or whatever. I'm not sure. And then Brody, he had his couple incidents there, so I kind of just drove by him a couple times. And Dan had a unfortunate night tonight and everything like that. So yeah, just got to thank everyone like that.
I mean, I had it up the whole time, but that's fine.
Oh,
New points leader is James Watson. Matt Schlosser is back to second by 140 points, and Nate Siefker in third by 300 points. So within reach.
Ooh.
Within reach.
Yeah, well within reach, but we got work to do now. So gotta plug away, get some results, win a couple races, and we'll be there.
Yeah, for sure. We'll hope to talk to you again next week. It's I guess what would be your home race this season with no Iowa, Chicagoland? Welcome to the land of Lincoln, baby.
That's a lot longer drive. I guess if that's what I'm gonna get, I guess. So
Yep. Well,
we'll take it.
well, we'll see you then next week. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again then.
All right, see you guys. Peace out.
All right. Well, that was a long night and honestly a pretty frustrating one from my vantage point. These drivers are about to get a talking to. So let's go on a quick off here, Mr. Matt Williamson. Overall, the oval race was fine. Very interesting and certainly, if nothing else, a consequential night of racing.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there were incidents, throughout the evening that really changed the landscape of the points here. I mean, of course, the big 3-car pileup in the road course race that Nate had just talked about there in his interview, that was kind of kicked off by him getting into the back of Kenneth Smith. I think just a difference of driving styles there that really put the nail in the coffin there for that one. But, of course, Gunter was involved in that. And then really, really interesting stuff here in the Oval. Nobody wanting to work together whatsoever, whether you're leading the race or not. Siefker was the benefactor of that. So, I mean, the points are pretty close. Going into the last few races. I mean, typically, I feel like at this point we only have a couple of folks that really have a shot, but we have at least 3, and if not, maybe 1 or 2 more that might have a decent look at it here still, depending on what happens. So it's going to be a great end to Season 7. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks to everybody that was here with us tonight. Don Golden, Joshua Rutherford, and I believe that's Matt Wagner was here as well. I think maybe on a bit of a delay watching the road course race. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, certainly will. Chicagoland is the name of the game. It's the home track for the Booth Boys next Wednesday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, as always. And, be on the lookout for a special stage, Joker Series Season 26B. And it will be not live, but on the airwaves here coming up in the next couple of weeks. And some very interesting racing there. That's all we got for you here tonight. Thanks to everybody that came out here this evening. Thanks to the folks that were watching. And thank you to the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson. Until we meet again, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long from Auto Club Speedway. And congratulations to Matt Schlosser and Nate Siefker, your race winners this evening. Have a good night, everybody.